God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and of a sound mind. You're listening to I Am Poised for Purpose podcast with Kontessa Kiel.
Hello, and welcome back to the I Am Poised for Purpose podcast. I am your host, Kontessa Kiel. This podcast is brought to you by Poised for Purpose Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that seeks to ignite spiritual growth in all individuals. On this episode, I wanted to talk to you about trusting God during unexpected circumstances. I've been on a little break due to some unforeseen health issues, and there were many times that my faith was tested. So I wanted to come and encourage you. You know, we are living in a time of pandemic, and there is so much uncertainty. Many of you listening may have been dealing with friends or loved ones becoming ill, or even yourself may be having health issues. And there are some issues that come about unexpectedly, but there are some that we can't anticipate due to our genetics or lifestyle. You may have gotten laid off from your job or ended things unexpectedly with someone you thought that you would never live without. But either way, dealing with uncertainty in unexpected situations is always difficult. It's challenging. Going through these past few weeks, not knowing what to expect, I was reminded of the story in the Bible in 2 Kings chapter 4 of the Shunammite woman. She was a wealthy woman who decided to add on a room for the prophet Elisha, who frequently passed through her town. She felt led to make this room for this man of God in her home, which was extremely generous. The prophet prophesied to her that she would give birth to a son, even though her husband was old. But she had that son the very next year. And the scripture says in 2 Kings chapter 4 that once the child had grown, he began to complain about his head hurting. They took the boy to his mother, and he died, the scripture said. The woman placed her dead son in the room she built for the prophet and asked for a donkey so that she could go find the prophet Elisha immediately. Now, could you imagine what the thoughts are that are running through her mind right now? The son that she did not even expect to have or even ask to have, that God gave her, was now dead unexpectedly. What things have you unexpectedly had come up in your life? Sickness, death in a family, divorce, miscarriages. These are all things that happen unexpectedly that always make you question God. Why does God allow these things to happen to us is what sometimes our first reaction is, our first question to Him. What should we do when God allows these things, or what should we do when these things happen? The answer is simply turning to Jesus, going back to the source and the provider, the one that knows everything. In the Bible, the Shunammite woman shows us this perfectly. She did not let any grass grow under her feet. She said, hey, let's put the boy in the room. Go get me my purse. I am going to see the man of God. She didn't let her situation stop her. She didn't let her husband stop her. She got up, she put her shoes on, and she left. She turned to the person she knew could help her. After all, he was the man that spoke the word over her life that the boy would even be conceived. When things happen unexpectedly in our lives, we let our circumstances take over us. We throw a fit, a tantrum, we have a pity party, and everything else, but we forget to just simply turn to the one who holds everything in his hand, Jesus. I like this story too because even along her journey, people kept asking the Shunammite woman what she was doing, what was going on, and all she would tell them was, all is well. All is well. It wasn't until she got to the prophet Elisha that she even spoke about what was going on. And that's a lesson in itself. Something that I myself even had to learn the hard way, that When things are happening, you have to be careful who you share things with. Not everyone wants to see you survive. Not everyone wants to see you healed. Not everyone wants to see you win. And if you don't have the faith or the power to believe God with me, there is no point in sharing what's going on. If you're not going to be able to pray with me, I'm not going to be able to tell you what's going on. Just know that all is well, because you have to protect your promise. You have to protect what God is doing within you. Elisha had just what she needed. Direction, faith, and the power of God was with him. She did what the man of God told her, and a miracle was performed. Her son was raised from the dead. The Shunammite woman was a model of what to do in difficult times. Simple. We must trust in the Lord and know that He is with us. We must turn to Him first when things happen in our lives, and we must seek Him until He speaks with clarity and direction. Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not unto your own understanding." There are things that will happen in our lives that we could never imagine or explain, but God has promised to be with us. And if we submit our ways to Him, He will make our path straight. He will give us direction. He will see us through the difficult times. Being poised for purpose is when you can look to God before all others with faith in knowing that He has everything that you need for your journey, no matter what the outcome. I pray that this has blessed you today. If you would like to give a donation to the Poised for Purpose Incorporated ministry, you may do so by Cash App, $ Poised for Purpose INC, or you can Zelle us at using the email info@IamPoisedForPurpose.com. And remember, no matter what position you are in, you are poised for purpose. Till next time.